YouTube, what's good? GOTY here. Welcome back to the March episode of the Game Lounge podcast. Rocking with me today, my co-host with the most, as usual. Can we get a big hello for Eeenaa? Eeenaa, can we get your opening statement?
Yo, hello everybody. Welcome back. We're back from the dead. Our biannual podcast. It's back.
Come on, we're better than that. We've been pretty good for late 2021, 2022. Let's keep it going. Rolling straight into it. We'll start off with some game releases. So we'll sort of backdating a bit here, starting off with the February game releases. Major ones, we obviously had Horizon Forbidden West, Destiny 2 The Witch Queen, and Elden Ring. For March, we had Elix 2, Far, Changing Tides, Shadow Warrior 3, Babylon's Fall, Gran Turismo 7, Triangle Strategy for the Switch, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, on my list for sure. Ashwalkers, Aztec Forgotten Gods, Chocobo GP, Submerged Hidden Depths, Young Souls, WWE 2K22, Dawn of the Monsters, Grand Theft Auto 5, Phantom Breaker Omnia, The Cruel King and the Great Hero. Yo.
Oh.
Paradise Killer, Tunic, Anno Mutationum. That's a word I've butchered. Monster Energy Supercross 5. Yo. Thanks. Shout out Kyle for the sponsorship. Persona 4 Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Shredders, Stranger Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, Kraken Academy, Rune Factory 5. Dude, we should have called some of these. And Memoir Blue, The Ascent, Ghostwire Tokyo, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Crusader Kings 3, Aerial Knights Never Yield, Death Stranding, Director's Cut, and Weird West. Chat, anything in there that you're interested
in? Look, Chief, we had to do it for the people. It's been so long. They needed to know everything that's going on.
That's it.
I mean, tail end of February, nuts.
Mwah.
By the way, like,
Mwah.
yeah, crazy. Obviously, we'll obviously kind of get into Elden Ring and stuff a bit later. But I mean, of these, like things that I've played so far, so I've played Gran Turismo 7, and then they decided to cook it with just the world's shittest microtransaction scheme and fewer rewards. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just not going to touch this until it's fixed again. So yeah, kind of like played like a little bit of it recently, but not much, because I was like, this is kind of shit that I'm now getting paid way less for my time. But anyway, cool. Gran Theft Auto 5 is released for the 76th time across 18 generations of console, so that's cool.
Cash grab.
Another interesting one on here is the Anno Mutatium. That one's super cool. It's like an aesthetic, like 2.5D like cyberpunk beat 'em up with story RPG elements. It's pretty cool.
Is it the same like RTS as the same other Anno games from Ubisoft?
No, bro. This is not even close to that. This is like a indie studio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not even remotely close.
Damn.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, aka Strangers of Paradise, I'm Here to Kill Chaos Origin. I really want to pick that game up because it's made by Team Ninja, and I've also heard that the story is just like the most cooked thing ever, and I'm so excited. Just like a bunch of bros just saying they want to kill Chaos sounds like an absolutely perfect time.
Yes, sir.
Ghostwire Tokyo I have picked up, but I have not played it yet, but looking forward to it. And then
for the PC as well.
Kirby, I've got some thoughts. We'll get into that later. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I'll get it eventually. This is like the first Borderlands game I haven't bought on release, besides like the original, obviously, where one day I just stumbled upon it. But yeah, I'll wait a bit when I have a real PC. I think I don't particularly like playing FPS too much on controller. It seems a bit sus.
Hot take.
I don't know. It's just like it's like why would you bother? Like I feel
Yeah.
dumb when I play shooters on a console because I'm like, why can't my hands do what my brain is thinking, like a mouse and a keyboard?
A
So
little bit of a different feel.
I've been playing Borderlands 3 with a controller. I suck ass, dude. See, that's the thing though. I blame controllers for that. It's so much more precise to use a mouse. Like
I feel
controllers
I'm
make
the
you
same.
controls make you feel like a small child. Like you
Yeah.
just, I don't know, not about it, not about it.
Especially with some games like shooters too.
Well, that's what I mean. I prefer to
Yeah.
play every single shooter with a mouse and keyboard. Like RPGs and stuff, that's fine. I'll play with a controller. It doesn't mind. Like I don't mind that at all. Sometimes it's preferable, but yeah, like I mean, not having a PC and playing console has made me pretty good now, like adapting to it. But yeah, still just prefer a mouse and keyboard for shooters. Anything on this list that's poked your fancy?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple that pique my fancy more so on the on the Fed side of things rather than March. Much like yourself, I have picked up Ghostwire Tokyo for PC. Yet to play it, just haven't
I
had
got it for
the.
PS5.
Oh, you got it for the PS5. I see you're a man
Culture.
of great culture. Yes. Yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I'm 50-50 on whether I'll pick that one up now or later. One of our friends has, I believe, picked it up ahead of release.
We're talking about Brados, former host.
Teacher Brados.
I told him I was getting on PC, so he's getting it on PC when
There you go.
that comes around.
Yeah, so I believe the intention will be to maybe co-play that at some point.
Yo, let's go, dude.
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. I think that's going to be a start on the weekend for me. And yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. That one's going to be one for a PS5 pickup. I was contemplating picking it up for the PS4, but then I was like, it's going to come out on PS5 soon, or it's out on PS5, and I'm going to have mine soon enough. So that's my sort of thoughts there. And unlucky for Horizon to have like your release date just a few days before Elden Ring, because like god damn,
Wait,
like
who undid the first game as well? What was the huge release that came out just like after the first Horizon came out?
man, that's testing my memory. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Also, thank you so much, Angel, for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, there was another mammoth game that like cocked blocked the first game as well. I'm trying to remember what it was though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it by release date, but I can't see, like, yeah, it's annoying to type to be like, hey, what's some game releases around this time?
What's?
It's the 28th of Feb, 2017.
I just remember there was a mammoth game that came out and it overshadowed it yet again, which is like this was like history repeating itself, which is why people found it super comical.
We had a few. We had Neo. We had For Honor.
It wasn't any of those games, let me tell you.
Hollow Knight.
No.
Lego Worlds.
No.
Halo Wars 2.
No. I forget what it was. It was a huge game. It overshadowed the shit out of it.
Yeah, I can't see that on the Sniper Elite.
Bro, I'm talking about overshadowing. What are you doing?
Bro, for all our Navy SEALs in the chat, I don't know.
Yes, every single Navy SEAL in here. Thank you for your service. You know, why don't I have a look, and you keep going with your thoughts?
Yeah, so like obviously those are sort of pickups for me. I was so tempted to pick up like Elden Ring, but I'm not a huge Souls gamer, and I feel like it's one of those games you're either a Souls gamer or you're not. And obviously, like I've seen playthroughs and talked to friends so far who have played Elden Ring and dedicated like hours upon hours. Like it's not a game where you can sit down and just chuck in like 10-15 minutes and be on your way sort of thing. And I've got like a pretty busy April coming up, so I was like I might pick it up like later on down the line, or whatever, or maybe I'll just continue to watch like YouTube playthroughs because I get more enjoyment out of like watching people be terrible at Souls games than I do probably by playing them. I remember it was I think Demon Souls where I have it on Steam, or maybe it was like the first Dark Souls.
No, yeah, first Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Demon Souls
first
is
Dark Souls.
locked to PS3 or the remake to PS5.
There you go. So it's definitely the first Dark Souls. So I remember like you know where you stand on that ledge and you're meant to essentially like plunge down.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
the
I just kept rolling off and dying every time. Like I never made it past. I did like 5 times and I was like, I'm frustrated, I'm done. I never came back to it. So
and that's the thing that stops people from playing Souls games.
basically. So yeah, 50-50.
By the way, Horizon Zero Dawn had to compete with Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah,
So just another big open world magnum dong of a video game.
Dude, feels bad for Horizon and having to compete against massive titles because they had that window of like 7 days before Elden Ring came out this time around, and then it was like goodbye Horizon. Off into the horizon your memory goes.
See, I think the thing is that they didn't expect it to maybe be as big as it was, because I think that took a lot of people by surprise. Like, to be honest, I'm quite surprised at how big it is. But we'll get into that later.
For sure. Yeah, and I guess off the back of that, we can sort of talk about what we've been playing. I guess I kind of alluded to the fact that I haven't really played any of those games as yet. So I've been playing, funnily enough, like a little bit of Borderlands 3. To sort of that point, I've been playing it on PS4 with a controller, and so that's sort of been my journey with all of the Borderlands games. I know. But that's been my experience with Borderlands 3. But for the first time playing a Borderlands game, I'm not playing it split screen. It's just me. It's just me solo. And I'll tell you what, it has to be like the weirdest feeling for me. Because like usually I've had Brados, or I had my old housemate, Jeff, who I used to play with. And now it's just like me solo full screen. And it's a very, very different feeling. Like I'm very early on.
How far in are you?
I just started, sort of thing.
Dude, let me finna get a copy. We'll play. But you can have your whole screen, bro.
Oh, here we go.
I'll play the console shooter with you.
I love Borderlands for that feeling though, like that old homage to split screen gaming, just sitting around on the couch enjoying a video game with your friends, sort of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if PS4 and PS5 can play with each other.
I was actually I wondered the same thing because Brados had mentioned a similar thing that he was wanting to run back through Borderlands 3 as well. So he was like, "Oh, I'll check it." And I don't. Yeah, gotta still look into that.
Nice.
Backwards compatibility is definitely there. Other things. Finished up Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7.
Let's go.
And 2 of these other titles you may have heard of, may have not. They're literally just platinum run-through titles: Suicide Guy and Coffin Dodgers.
Oh, well, at least explain them.
Yeah, so that's Suicide Guy. Essentially, the premise of the game is like there's lots of mini levels inside a bigger game, and your entire purpose throughout each level is to find the way to kill this guy.
It sounds like an old like mini clip game or something.
Dude, dead set. It's like 2017, low graphics, like god awful, no guidance whatsoever for some of these levels, so you're just kind of stuck.
So it's truly the Dark Souls.
Oh yeah. So you guys have been playing Dark Souls and Elden Ring. I've been playing Suicide Guy with no walkthrough guide. Is a similar. I'm not saying that they're same, but
basically the same video game.
We're basically the same here. And Coffin Dodgers was like another like $2 pickup game, and it's essentially like cool concept, a racing game, and the elderly aversing death in a racing game to not die. If they lose to death, or if they place within like a certain position on the leaderboard, they turn into zombies. Yeah, it sounds way better, and then I just kind of butchered it.
Nah, bro, that sounds lit. I love the fact that a character synonymous with the concept of death, turns human beings into zombies rather than ghosts.
Yes.
This seems very counterintuitive.
It is. I mean, you know, they're still dead. They just kind of undead, though. But
I mean, I could have, like, I mean, if it was pestilence, I think we'd have a different story.
that's also yes. So two games of very little note and 2 games of note. So yeah, that's sort of it for me. By next podcast, I'll definitely have a few more bigger games under my belt with the PS5 coming in hot, and obviously Ghostwire Tokyo this weekend.
Fair.
But that's it for me.
Okay, so I've been kind of playing one game for each platform that I currently own besides PC. So
I love it.
On the Switch at the moment, I've been playing the Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the new Kirby game. On the back of the box, it says,
need a car.
"Oh, but I would," and I did, and it's kind of sick because there's sweet drifting mechanics in it. Yeah, I'm on. It's like on the back of the box. It's literally like Kirby finally in 3D, and it's like, whoa, crazy! It only took you like 3 decades to get here, Nintendo, but congratulations. I'm probably about, like, I don't know, maybe like 3 hours in, 4 hours, and apparently the average playthrough is about 9.
Ooh,
So I'm
okay.
like, I'm at about like halfway, like ish there. It is, how do I put it? It's kind of a weird one. Like, I'm really quite enjoying myself, and it's like a very charming game. There's a lot of charm to it. Like, especially
like
with
a
the
WoW game. You go, wow.
it's more just like where you go, oh, that's nice. Like that's a
okay.
nice little detail. Like they really put a lot of care and effort into like the animations specifically. They're really great. As for the gameplay itself, it's kind of weird to say this, but it's been done, and not by Kirby, but by Mario.
Oh.
Because
okay.
if you think about it, Mario Odyssey, Cappy just is Kirby. So you
Yeah.
just become the thing, which is Kirby's premise too, where you suck in the thing to become the thing,
the thing.
which
Yeah.
is really weird because it just feels like Mario Light is the best way to describe it, because it's not like, they say it's in 3D, but it's kind of on rails. Like, it's all like linear leading to an exit. Like, you can't control your like camera in a 3D perspective. Like, you can't like turn around your character. Like, it's like a locked camera angle.
Locked camera.
Yeah. So it kind of just feels like baby's first, I want to play Super Mario Odyssey, but I'm 5 years old and I don't have the hand-eye coordination for it yet, so I'm going to play Kirby to practice. Is kind of what it feels like. But it's really nice. It's I'm pretty surprised at how much depth they put in for the copying system. Like, there's like upgrades and stuff you can do for the certain abilities and stuff that you can copy, which is really cool. Enemy designs are cool, level designs and little secrets are fun. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's really like baby's first Mario Odyssey, which is a really weird way to pitch it, but it kind of feels like that. But in a sense, it's, yeah, if you played it first and then as a small child, it would actually prepare you for Odyssey and concepts that are used in that game.
Yeah.
So
a lot of familiarity in there.
yeah, because they're essentially now the same character. Just less suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But in general, my current feelings towards it is it's like a 7. It's good.
7?
It's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good game. I don't think it's like an 8.5 like or whatever its Metacritic is right now. I'm like it's just a fine game. It's like nothing mind-boggling going on here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the review bias is like he's finally in 3D, Pog, and like the soundtrack is super amazing and like it's just fun and charming and stuff. But I feel in terms of like if we're going kind of like a new sort of stuff here and the gameplay wise it's I think it's a 7, which is good. It's still good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's enjoying it.
I also saw that it had like a price drop too for like $45,
What the
which
hell?
is rare for like a Nintendo Switch game.
Where?
Yeah, I noticed. I had that while I was doing a bit of research today on. I mean, take it for what you will. It was on GameSpot. So
Mother of God.
Yeah, it's important to note that this deal applies to the EU version of the game. So,
Huh. Strange.
which is interesting. So, like for a relatively new game too, and knowing that Nintendo Switches, like their titles, are very rarely dropped in price, was pretty surprising to me to come across that.
Yeah, what do you mean, man? There's in my workplace, there's a current Meteor Extravaganza, mate. You can get $5 off the normal titles that Nintendo sell.
Oh
You
my
remember
God.
remember how
That's a better deal than Nintendo, dude.
I know, dude. $79 for Zelda? Nuh-uh. $75, bro. Go pick it up real quick.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. I've been playing Elden Ring.
Very nice.
I think I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like 45 hours in, maybe. I
He's sitting
think
at, like level 80-ish.
I'm 120 something.
Oh, very nice.
I'm gaming, bro.
There you go. Because that's like the average I've seen is like 60 hours per 100. So you've been grinding those grind spots.
Not particularly. I'm just like every single Souls game, I always do a mage playthrough first, and I'm kind of just like crushing them. like Radahn. Like I fought him pre-patch before they nerfed him. I beat him in my first go because I just beamed him to death in one shot.
Very nice.
But the funny thing is, like, a lot of people are pissed at sorcery because they're like, it's so overpowered, it's so broken. Look at this laser beam. It literally one-shots things, but it's like, it's literally useful against like 4 bosses.
Yeah,
because
against 4 bosses, and essentially like most builds for mage is essentially you're left as like a glass cannon.
Yes.
So, I mean, you get 1 hit for the most part. So,
Absolutely, I do.
So unless your dodge rolls are like perfectly timed to where like you're versing another ranged boss or whatever, they'll beat your ass.
Yeah, man. I get smashed by anything that can essentially like get up super close. But now I've gotten some new tricks up my sleeve, some new magic that'll deal with it. I just finished Rani's quest and got the Moonlight Greatsword, and the last major boss I killed was the Fire Giant. For those of you who have been playing and know what that is, but yeah, it's like a very good video game, and it's exactly what I needed, because before I was playing that, I booted up Horizon Forbidden West. I played like 4 hours. I opened the map and I was like, I can't do this shit. And I turned the game off. I was like, I can't play this fucking game. There's too much shit on this map. I have open world fatigue. And that's why now I was worried going into Elden Ring, because I was like, I'm already so fatigued on open world.
Yeah.
And then I got in there and I'm like, I opened the map and there's just fucking nothing. I was like, serenity. And then I'm like, I can go wherever I want. I can put myself in just the worst situations whenever I feel like.
Watching the playthrough, that's the best thing that I've seen from it, is that it gives you no guidance. Obviously, like, in a sense, if you start getting more wrecked in certain areas than others, you kind of know you've gone the wrong way.
It's good. It makes the player like it trusts that the player is smart enough to be like, figure out for themselves like, maybe I'm not meant to be here just yet. Like when you go up and smack something in the leg and it does 32 damage and their health bar has like barely dropped, like they trust that you're smart enough to look at that with your eye sockets and then use your brain to compute, hey, wait a minute, I didn't do any damage, and then leave.
Yeah.
But yes, Elden Ring, how am I feeling about it currently? I'm sitting at around about a 9, I think.
That's good.
Maybe I got to see how the rest of the game goes, but currently I'm sitting at a 9.
Story-wise and lore, like feeding into that pretty good.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I think it's really it's really interesting. I think it's much easier for the layman to grab than all the other Souls games. Like, I'd feel like I don't need Vardy Vidya telling me the story of what's going on, because I kind of feel like I'm actually getting some of it. And the side characters are really exceptionally good. Like, really good. Like, they've always had... The Soul series has always had really interesting side characters and quests. But I'm really enjoying the side characters in Elden Ring. But yeah, I mean, it's just goated. I think it's... Is it the best From Software game? I think so. In the terms that it gives you way more tools to deal with any situation how you want. I think it just has a certain freedom the other games don't necessarily afford. Like, maybe Dark Souls 3 is the other game that affords you the most freedom for how you want to play. But I think I enjoy Elden Ring more. Because...
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. And I feel like I've already talked about this one too much, so maybe we'll save it for another specific podcast. But yeah, it's good. I've taken up a lot of time, so let me just breeze through these other ones. So on the 3DS, I've been playing Bravely Default. It's like a turn-based RPG. I can't believe it had voice acting. I was blown away by the fact it had voice acting. And yeah, it's just like it's an RPG on the 3DS. And I've always wanted to play it, and now I'm currently playing it, and it's pretty sweet. And then on the DS, I'm playing Guitar Hero on Tour, which
I
is...
didn't even know there was Guitar Hero on the DS, to
which,
be honest.
Which I bought off Facebook Marketplace for $30 that came with the boxed accessory. Yeah. You've got to...
Oh my god, I'm just looking at this little touchpad thing, Extendo.
Yes, so in the bottom of the original DS Lites... there's like a Game Boy cartridge area that you would pull the bottom out to put a Game Boy cartridge in. So Activision made an accessory that can fit into the bottom slot, which was the guitar chords or
incredible.
The buttons, and you would use the touchscreen to strum the guitar. So you'll push the buttons with your right hand or left hand, and then obviously you would strum with the alternate hand on the screen.
So you play it vertically, essentially.
Yes, it's a mobile phone. and then yeah, and you just play some nice bit crush songs because it's a fucking DS.
Wait, did you get the little plectrum that came with it?
Absolutely.
Oh
Dude,
God,
this thing
incredible.
came in pristine condition, dude. I was beyond surprised.
That's amazing.
But yeah, super fun. Would highly recommend it if you can get your hands on one and you have a DS Lite. I'm going to make a YouTube video about it. Specifically, because I think it's such a cool random accessory that not many people actually know about that existed. But
that's very cool.
Yes. All right. Now, gamers, new segment for the show. It's called Finna Cop or Finna Not. It's a segment that I'm making for for Alex to specifically answer, in which I throw a random game out each week. He has no idea what it is, and based off just any random knowledge he knows about it, and or if he's played it, if it's a cop or not. All right, Alex.
I like it. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yep.
From your knowledge and or gameplay, triangle strategy, cop or not?
Oh my god. What is triangle strategy? Oh wait, yes, I know this game. Oh my god.
This is now my favorite segment.
Curveballs at me. Look, I really like the Octopath sort of like art style, the 2.5D looking idea of it. Man, I've never been one for sort of like tactical role plays, to be honest. And kind of less so for, like, whilst I like the style, I'm not so much. I don't know if I could do a whole game of that degree.
Mm-hmm.
Very honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Following on from that, I also don't have a Switch at the present point in time.
Mother of God.
So very hard for me to say a cop, but I think I'm finna not.
Oh, he's finna not gonna cop it, dude. Shit. All right.
Is that a hot take?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's been really well reviewed, but
Okay.
I mean, it's your opinion, bro. This is the finna cop or finna not section for Zia later, bro.
When we watch, because even when we watched the Nintendo Direct, I was kind of like, yeah, nice. But to be fair, I'd seen it at like a previous, I want to say, Nintendo Direct last year, and between then and the next Nintendo Direct, I'd forgotten about it, and there was another game that looked just like Triangle Strategy, and I can't even tell you.
Yeah, there was a couple. Remember, we watched it and we're like, "What the?"
Yeah,
like,
like, same type. Is it the same game? Same, just DLC or whatever? But nah, not for me. Not for me, fam. That's a finna not.
All right.
Chat thoughts. Am I being vote kicked from the podcast?
Moses thought you were gonna cop it.
Oh, sorry, Moses. I've let you down.
Oh god. All right, let's get into some snooze then,
Yeah.
aka the news.
So, off the back of the pre-chat for the podcast, we were talking a little bit about the GPUs and good news for our fellow gamers around the world. AMD and Nvidia GPU prices are dropping as a result of the US lifting a Chinese import tariff, and we've already seen prices drop a little bit, but we're expecting to see potential drops of up to 25%.
Right, or
love a good deal.
It already has happened.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen, just for the Australian market, they've nearly actually gone back down to normal retail pricing. So like, instead of paying $2,000 for a 3080, you can now pay $1,300, which is
massive.
It's fucking crazy.
Massive drop, because obviously, like, all of the stuff that we get, and most of the tech is developed and built in China, so obviously, like, any tariffs that are lifted, even if it is to the US, they're exported out to us anyway, so better deals for the consumer, which we love to see. And the good thing about it is they're becoming a bit more readily available too, which is good. Whilst there's still like supply issues, you're still able to get a GPU.
Which
is
really
nice.
easily.
Yeah. As someone who's looking to sort of respec and upgrade my PC a little bit, you know, I'm running on the same build that I've been on since 2014. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm running a 1060 at the moment. So I am in big need of a couple new parts, which is why it takes me like 5 hours to render a podcast.
Oh no.
Yeah, so definitely like big for me, because I was obviously looking at buying one when it was its original price. So for me to see like the price drop, like $700 win-win for me
Yeah, absolutely.
and for gamers in general.
Gamers, we win finally.
And it's also like a benefactor that Bitcoin mining and stuff like that has seen sort of a downturn as of late. So there's been less scalper demand.
Well, I think
guess,
that might
playing a
be.
factor too.
That also can be alleviated from the mining cards that are now specifically made for mining,
Also, yeah.
and the hardware reduction in normal graphics cards for gaming, which don't have what mining requires to be efficient.
Yes.
So that's also helping alleviate some of the stress, I think, too. So yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Happy about that.
So, The Witcher 4 got announced. Just a little announcement, just thrown up there.
Drop.
Yeah. Along with the announcement, CD Projekt Red also announced that it is in a partnership with Epic Games to use the Unreal 5 engine, which they'll be using to the partnership for technical assistance for creating new open world technology, whatever the fuck that means. And then they also stated in the same thing that they will still be using the Red engine for Cyberpunk, which is kind of a no shit moment, as if you're randomly going to move the entire game of Cyberpunk to Unreal 5. I mean, Witcher 4 announced, cool,
Yes.
obviously, fucking obviously they're going to do that, especially off the back of, the Witcher TV show, which is huge.
Yeah, very popular.
So, I mean, we got an image. It's the Medallion of the Lynx, which is like fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really in the lore.
Yeah, so like off the back of this, it doesn't, like from all regards, doesn't seem like it's following Geralt's storyline. Like it said, from what I've seen, it said it's kicking off like in that same image. It said a new saga begins.
Yep.
So yeah,
I
like,
mean,
do we see this as being a hard reset, like Saints Row essentially, or
Nah. I don't think so. It'll probably be. We'll probably be playing as Ciri.
okay?
Or if it does hard reset, Geralt won't be going anywhere. And Ciri, because the School of the Lynx is a creation of Lambert, who's another Witcher from the School of the Wolf, and Kira Metz, who's one of the sorceresses, and they made this school. So, like, they're in the same timeline as Geralt. Like, you interact with Lambert like pretty frequently in Witcher 3, and Kira has like an entire quest too. So I got a feeling Geralt will just be, he'll be there. He'll just be like a side character you talk to. And if you're not playing Ciri, same thing. It just depends, because Ciri has a cat pendant which she wears around her waist, but I don't think it's a lynx pendant. I think it's a cat pendant. So if we're going with the lynx pendant, then maybe we are just someone totally new, but we're still in the same timeline as Geralt and Ciri. Potentially.
Yeah, I can see that.
If we're trusting a JPEG, which is 6 years out from its release.
Yeah, very much us speculating at this point in time. Another key thing to note as well, that like even though it's a partnership with Epic, The Witcher's Twitter account has come out saying that they're not planning on making the game exclusive to one storefront, because I know for one reason or another people dislike the Epic game launcher, which is a strange one to me, but
yeah, it's kind of us. They only just added like a shopping cart in last year.
Yeah,
it's been out for like 5 years, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is still very, very early.
Well, now
Early stages.
Now they're in dual development, because now it's simultaneous development of Witcher and Cyberpunk. So they've now entered that, working on 2 AAA games at the exact same time,
which is exciting, because they've always been like a one game studio.
Yeah, well,
for the most part.
Well, now that dual franchise is like their plan forward. Um, my only issue that I have with okay, so there's good things for going to Unreal 5. Number one, you can actually hire talent because
Yes.
Unreal 5 is an engine that everybody can get their hands on and use, right? It means you have a way more diverse background, and even if you're not using Unreal 5, Unreal 4 isn't that much of a jump to Unreal 5 in terms of understanding it, which is good. You have such they increase their pool of talent that they could grab by like fucking 600%, right? Because who the hell knows how to use Red Engine? No one. Unless you work unless you work there, you don't know how it works. And I'm sure it's not that intuitive.
Barrier to entry there, a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. My only problem with this is that I love the Red Engine. I think the Red Engine has created two games that look utterly incredible, and I don't think any other games look like them on any other like engine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad when you see like proprietary tech and really cool engines just like fade away, because then everybody's just going to be using one or two engines. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a similar issue where, like, I feel like Frostbite is EA's engine. It's a piece of shit. No one can use the thing. No one understands how to use the goddamn thing. That like this is some awful shit, and it is like they have to do like a year's work to get it to work for what they want. Like every single time they like try and make a game on it. Like God, for God's sake, look at Anthem. They were like, Jesus Christ, this engine's not gonna do it. Like. So,
which is crazy, seeing that was like revolutionary and so good in 2013, and now you have like a 7-8 year gap.
Like it looks
like
it looks good.
Great.
Yeah,
it
like
looks
it looks good, but it sounds so unwieldy. Like everyone's like this engine sucks dick. It's like, yeah,
Basically.
fair enough. And yeah, it's just kind of sad that Red Engine's probably going to go bye-bye, most likely. Which is, yeah, it's just kind of sad. Because it's like, man, I really like those games that are made on Red Engine. And it's super interesting. It's a super interesting engine.
Yeah, very much so.
But I guess what's more important to them, being able to hire like 300% more options, or like finding 3 brainiacs who can actually figure out how to use it and getting them on.
Yeah, I think if I'm CD Projekt Red and I've seen like the sort of launch issues with Cyberpunk, you look inside and be like, okay, well, what can we do? Obviously, this announcement is more recent, and obviously that's been in the works for, I guess, a fair while. But yeah, I'm sure that's played a part too.
It also means in this deal that they don't pay anything to Epic Games for using the engine.
It's also true.
Which means that there's not this huge sum of money that they have to give over for like using the engine once they're past a certain amount of sales or like generate enough income, because that's how it works in a lot of the cases. They take money depending on how much you've used, and then you got to slap a big old Unreal Engine logo on the front and like blah blah blah, all this other shit. But yeah, I mean we'll see what happens. Like Unreal 5 looks good. Like we've all seen the demo things, but yeah. You want to take the next one, bro?
Yeah, this is sort of just a minor point, but obviously, as we know, thanks to COVID, with game delays and stuff like that, a slew of major game titles continue to be delayed off the back of that. And I was more so just wanting to do a quick one here of what game that's been delayed are you disappointed about being delayed, / do you think may be pushed out to 2023?
Suicide Squad by Rocksteady.
Suicide Squad by Rocksteady. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
one.
a good one.
That's the one I'm disappointed the most is getting pushed back. Those guys haven't released a game in like 6 years, 7 years or some shit. When did Arkham Knight come out?
Oh, ages ago. Was that 2018?
Potentially. I thought it was even older than that, but maybe it's not.
2015. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was gonna say, Barry. I was like, it's been like 7 or 8 years.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a long time. For me, it's hard to pick one, but I'm gonna pick the new God of War game.
You reckon it's not coming this year?
Nah, no chance. No chance. I reckon it's too big of a game to come out as soon as it's expected to.
What's Sony got in the tail end of the year?
Well, we'll kind of touch on that slightly in a little bit. Yeah, but for the moment, I'll say God of War for the new PS5.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Fair.
I guess some minor news here too. Sonic the Hedgehog movie is getting a cinematic universe around that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so obviously the second movie is launching this coming weekend, I believe, out in cinemas.
Dude, I think it's crazy that Chris Pratt gets to play Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wait, Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
He's Sonic.
You just got bro. Nah, bro, he's Mario. Don't be a fool.
What? No, he's Shadow.
Wait, are you actually kidding?
Yeah, no.
What?
This is legit. He's been cast as Shadow.
What? I was just joking. I don't even know anything about those films.
I'm pretty...
No, he's not fucking Shadow the Hedgehog.
He's being cast as Shadow for the third one.
No, shut the fuck up. Chris Pratt. I was just joking, bro. No, this has to be a meme.
Dude, he's gonna be in all the Mario, in all the Sega, Nintendo character games.
No, this has to be a meme, surely.
This is legit.
What the hell? Bruh. If that's true, that sucks. Holy shit.
Man tried to got me and I got back.
Dude, I got myself, dude.
Dude, when's
wow.
the Chris Pratt cinematic universe coming out? Real talk.
Dude, just Mario, Shadow the Hedgehog meet up.
It's me.
It's me. It's me, Chris Pratt.
Terrible. But off the back of that, I guess that was just a quick piece. But moving into other TV show news, obviously Halo has launched on Paramount Plus in Australia. I don't know what it is, what platform it's on in other markets, but I've watched the very first episode, and it gives me YouTube circa like 2012 vibes with like some Freddie Wong effects. And you always love to see it when an article comes out the day before the show launches, where the showrunners mention that they've never played a Halo game in their life. They're like, we want to have...
Chris Pratt has played a Sonic game? Or do you think he was like... He's like, if I play this Sonic game, then I can't get into the lore and the characters and be held back by the games.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's concerning. I hate when fucking you take a goddamn video game IP and you go, yeah, we didn't play them. It's like, bro, what? It's there's so much rich lore in the games. Why would you fucking do this to yourself, you clowns?
Yeah, it's a weird one, but like still it's been getting pretty good.
Oh yeah,
viewership and whatnot.
Actually,
and obviously it's still getting like it broke the Paramount Plus viewership record.
Oh no shit! So what? 4 people?
Yeah, like I got Paramount Plus just to have a look at like the back catalog, and the second best thing on there is Rules of Engagement with David Spade.
Bro, this shit got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's pretty good for a Freddie Wong video.
That's awful, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, so chat, if you've seen it, be keen to hear your thoughts. Have you actually seen it yet?
Chat, they haven't seen it. I know you guys haven't seen it. Are you kidding me? The tagline for Paramount Plus is a mountain full of content. Or a mountain full of entertainment. It's some dumb shit. Amount of entertainment. I get it. It's funny. That's your logo. But also, there's nothing on that service, bro. They've got Halo, and it's got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think I'll be diving into that one anytime soon. Sounds like they butchered it.
Yeah. It's
We got a strong nah in chat.
strong nah from Haggle. You love to see it. Well, on the flip side of Xbox and Halo, you've got the competitor in Sony, which this week has filed a new trademark for our God and Savior, Knack. And this was specifically around a downloadable or installable video game. And a lot of people on Twitter seem to believe that this could be alluding to the launch of Spartacus as a potential launch title. To pair with the service.
Do you see the bullshit leak?
Yeah, the social network looking.
The like 5
picture.
tiers. I'm like, bro, Sony's not gonna do 5 tiers.
Nah.
And also,
I've
accurate
heard
leaks are saying 3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The it'll be interesting. I think we're expecting yet another state of play from PlayStation sometime in the near future, kind of around this. People are semi-expecting Knack, and potentially, I think off the back of last podcast, we mentioned Sly Cooper.
No, that's not fucking happening. Unless they're like bringing the trilogy onto the service, then yes, sure. But a new Sly is not happening and will not be announced until next year.
Potentially. I mean, it's like it was just off the back of their renewal of the domain and whatnot, like a couple of months back now. So yeah, I mean, I think because obviously like Spartacus will replace PlayStation Now, which is obviously available not in Australia, but it'll sort of be like a deprecated version and renewal of that in as we say, like a tiered service. Keen to see what it has, because obviously it's expected that it'll also encompass like PlayStation Plus and all of the features there. So
and apparently backwards compatibility for games,
and apparently,
and I'm just like, oh, that's weird, it couldn't work before.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, the cloud really opens up options, huh? That's so strange.
$15 a month.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm paying $30 a month, and now I can play these games which apparently were impossible to bring forward.
Oh my god,
that's really weird. Sony. Fucking Sony, dude.
Terrible.
I love them, but I hate them. It's like every game company. I'm like, fuck you, but I'm also like, you're pretty good sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, for the moment, it's just like a wait and see. Obviously, if there's a state of play or something along those lines, you will be sure that Eeenaa and I will cover that in some regard. Yeah, if you want to take this next topic.
Yeah, so this is the shit part of our industry. So a expose into 3 particular indie companies, which are sort of known as like indie darling studios. At Mountains, which created the game Florence, and this one sucks because these guys are Australian, so this is fucked. Fulbright, who made Tacoma and Gone Home, and then Funamina, who made Watam. Yeah, all of these companies have shocking amounts of toxicity and abuse cases that were just swept under the rug by a certain institution, which I forget the name of. But yeah, many employees have stepped forward, previous employees have stepped forward and provided, essentially the horrific stories of working under management and things like that. And it's just another case of it's just fuck, man, if our indies aren't safe, who the fuck is? It's just you're working in teams of god, 4 and upwards if you're a major indie studio, to I don't know, maybe 20 people. That's a big indie studio.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy that it just happens in like the smaller studios that create could you imagine being in a toxic work environment where you're getting abused and you made fucking Gone Home or Florence?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't even understand. Or Watam even.
Watam is great.
How can you make a game that's that happy and smiley and like just, abuse your fucking employee? I don't know, man. It's man, it's good that it's come to light. It's good that there's actually some gaming journalists who actually do some journalism, rather than just like, here are 5 really cool facts about Ubisoft's upcoming game Skull and Bones. It's just
hey, why are you dissing my channel like that?
Top 5. Yeah. So yeah, it sucks. If you guys are at all interested, definitely look it up. It's really not that hard to look it up. You can just type in abuse at indie studios. It will come up immediately. Yeah, and it's just, Alana Pierce did a really good video on it. Would recommend if anybody wants to be caught up on it. And yeah, just sucks, bro.
Yeah, it sucks, especially within like smaller companies too. Like, obviously, we had the news about EA, Activision, and stuff like that earlier in the year. But now to have it in like indie studios, it's such a different feel, especially when you've got 5 to 20 people in there, and you're all like, and there's abuse within small walls. Like, you think about that as like a school classroom. It's not like multiple offices around the world where this is happening on Slack channels and shit like that. This is like tiny offices that you share. Yeah, pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
to hear that. And as you say, like really fun games that have come out of those studios too, like to see the behind the scenes of what happens with those. Yeah, very, very sad.
For sure.
On the next point, as a bit of a brighter point, the Future Game Show for GameSpot just took place this past week. There are a couple of announcements in there. Big takeaway for me was new Lego Worlds game, and the new trailer for the Lego Star Wars game. If you are keen on looking that up, there are a couple of cool little, I'd say smaller announcements. It's not like a big game show that highlights like AAAs or whatever, but yeah, very cool like highlights and things on that, I think the Games Radar, my apologies, Games Radar channel. So if you want to go check them out, definitely worth having a look at, because it's some games that you might not necessarily see promoted in the mainstream because they haven't got like big budgets for marketing or whatever. So it's a good little thing there.
Nice. And then at the total opposite end of small and tiny, Elden Ring sold 12 million copies.
Yeah, that's massive.
It's kind of crazy if you think about it. So I think they did the math on it where the entire Soul series combined is at like 28 million lifetime sales. And Elden Ring is at 12 and it's been a month. But this was so it launched in early this month, right?
Elden Ring?
Yeah, or was it late Feb?
Late Feb.
Late Feb, that's right. So that number 2 was from like I think the 8th of March or something. Jeez. So like in 2 weeks or some shit, it had sold 12 million copies.
I actually think we're at the 1 month anniversary today.
Oh, yeah, we might be.
25th, so a couple of days past.
Yeah, gotcha. Who knows what it's at now? It'd be a pretty safe guess to probably be at 14, 15 potentially. it's the magnitude of this game is just like it's finally a Souls game that has like bled into the mainstream. Because I've literally got people at my work who were asking about it and then bought it, and it's their first ever Souls game, and they're like playing through it, and they're actually like getting stuff done, and it's their first Souls game. Like they're like actually like they're like, yeah, it's pissing me off a bit, but like it's more approachable because they feel like they have so many more tools and there's so many more places they can go if they get stuck, which I think is the thing that really sort of makes it hard for new players to get into the Souls series, because they're typically in their level like structure, right? Like the maps are quite big in a way, but they're also very linear and like put you into very chokehold positions. And it's like, you better be able to get through that chokehold position because that's your one way forward. Where in Elden Ring, it's like, oh, dude, fuck you. I'm going to bring out Torrent. I'm going to hop over this shit, jump on these 5 rocks, and then jump around. Like, there's so many ways to approach a situation in Elden Ring that it makes it so much more accessible for everyone. While still being difficult, because there's a lot of things of people in the community being like, oh, this is the easiest game. But then there's also like people being like, this is the hardest Souls game. And it's both. That's the cool thing about it. It can be as easy as you want it to be or as hard as you want to be. If you're like one of these big chin grayscale chads, right? Then all you do, you go full strength, you put all your points into health, you never use a summon. That's how you play. You two-hand some big-ass sword, and that's how you fight every single boss. If you are looking just to have a good time, breeze through a bit, have a little bit of a challenge, or not a lot, you play sorcery, and you summon every chance you get.
Yes.
Like, you can upgrade your sorcery... You can upgrade your summons to literally sometimes solo bosses for you.
Okay, who's your go-to summon?
Jellyfish.
Yeah, jellyfish is like the one that I've seen to be like OP in a playthrough that I'm watching some guys use Oleg.
Well, the thing is though, right? Like, I've got Mimic Tier. That thing is ridiculous. It's incredibly overpowered, which is the point where I went, I don't feel like using this. This is making this trivial. So I stopped using it, because that is for myself is how I'm controlling my own difficulty, which I think is super sick, because it's just like I'm literally tuning it as I go along. So I pulled out Jellyfish because Jellyfish is kind of slow. He just kind of stand there.
Yeah, he's slow.
Yeah, and he just like spit occasionally. And like that's all he does. He's just a tank so that I can like shoot spells off.
Yes.
And I'm like,
just that distraction.
Yeah, and then, but then the balance becomes then is if I'm not watching the rotation and I'm going too fast, then the aggro goes back to me, and the jellyfish takes ages to do anything. So the boss is probably going to come and kick my ass because I'm not working with the like limit I've given myself. So I need to be like waiting for intervals where jellyfish takes the aggro back and be smart, which is like another way of, making it as difficult or as easy as you want, right? But yeah, like there's just so many ways to play. There's so many ways to play, and I think that's why it's had such huge success compared to everything else. Because if you look at the Steam numbers of this game, if you look at the Twitch numbers of this game and you compare them to Dark Souls 3, it's not even remotely close. I think the peak for Dark Souls 3 was like 60k, 63,000 as its highest peak ever, and Elden Ring was like 980,000 people playing concurrently.
That's insane.
This game is huge.
The game's also benefited, I think, greatly from really good marketing for what I don't actually know what George R. R. Martin helped out with, but even putting his name to it, I think has helped out with it to a degree for like a wider fantasy audience as
So,
well.
so Georgie Boy helped write like helped write with Miyazaki
Yes.
the lore of the world and like some of the the characters within it. So like
Mm.
scene setting essentially.
Yeah.
So writing
Yeah.
what it like looks like, writing what an overall premise of the
Look
world
like
is.
swamp, look like cave, look like cave.
Look like poison swamp. Miyazaki's just nodding in the corner like Jack Nicholson. When
Scarlet rot.
yes, he's like, yes, Scarlet Rot Swamp, yes. But yeah, it's just a mega impressive game. PC launch was apparently dog shit. Fair enough. Honestly, it should be hit and marked down for that because I think stability doesn't get enough of a part of the pie when it comes to reviewing. So like on PC, honestly, probably should have reviewed it like 70 to 80 if that's the case. Because honestly, your game should work at launch. But I've been playing on PS5. It's been smooth sailing. I've heard a lot of people are having problem with the PS5 issue. I'm not having a single one. A lot of people are like, it's stuttering, it's doing this, it's doing this. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
So
But
you're getting like solid 60?
yep,
Or yeah,
yep. I don't think I've dipped a single time.
noise.
Not even in like crazy scenes where there's like 6 billion things going on and fire being spewed everywhere. Everything's still like rock solid. So I can't tell if I'm just lucky or like whatever the deal is. But yeah, man. God, the game has just become so much bigger than I would anticipate. I thought it was going to be big, right? But not this big. Not like this many millions of copies big.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And I looked up the sales numbers. It hasn't like they haven't
Updated them?
it since. So I guess it'll be like a month on month update almost. Like that was probably because that was sold units. Yeah, that wasn't shipped. Yeah, actually it was. It was sold units. It wasn't because
Wait, that's even crazier.
yeah. So that's sold units,
Huh.
which is pretty crazy. Um, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see in like a month's time to see how much that grows because 12 million copies is still phenomenal, especially for a Souls game.
Oh
where,
man, it's absurd for a Souls game.
yeah. So
Well, I mean, individually, it's already sold more than the other Souls games in an individual capacity.
yeah, crazy, crazy.
It's nuts.
Very impressive, very impressive. And we'll probably report back on that. Pardon me, in next month's podcast too. On our next piece of news, obviously we mentioned GTA 5 has been launched on yet another platform, and obviously, as a money-making cash grab, they love to add in more ways to do so, and they've done so now in a subscription service, which is crazy.
Some bullshit.
So, in this, it says you'll get 500,000 GTA dollars automatically delivered to your mate's bank account.
Monthly.
Monthly?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What a steal. The Prince of the Vest 8, along with complimentary house special works upgrade for it before it's made available to purchase to the general public. So basically, like, you get it in advance, plus the orange tip HSW CMYK glitch liveries. Never know how to pronounce that word, liveries, libraries. The auto shop located in La Mesa introduces an assortment of gameplay updates from Los Santos tuners. Current auto shop owners can relocate to La Mesa at no additional cost. Wow.
Yeah, dude, like, look at this shit. Like, it's like waived LS car meet membership fees. Like, what what is this shit? Like, yacht owners can upgrade their yacht at no additional cost. Like, There's new T-shirts. You earn 3 times money in RP on street races and 2 times car meetup rep. Like, and
That just seems like the worst subscription to
Bro,
ever be a part of.
you'll
Like,
be
what's
paying
the Paramount Plus at this point?
mountain of content. Okay, so you're paying $6 a month for this. You get 500,000 back, which is technically like $5 if you're buying shark cards. But the funny thing is, in this subscription fee, if you buy shark cards, you get more money than someone who is not on the subscription and buys shark cards. So you're literally paying money to spend more money to get more fake money. Bro, this shit is insanity. This is wilding out to the highest extreme.
Dude, imagine getting your LS car meet membership fee waived. Whoa.
Dude, that's crazy. You will be reimbursed your $50,000 during this event. Wow. Thank you so much. Bro, this is dog shit.
Like, the fact that they, like, knowing GTA and the player base it has, I honestly see this as doing decently well for very little effort from Rockstar's end.
Yeah.
Like apart from the fact that they've now cross-played it between multiple devices,
The fact
it's a
that-
nice little cash grab for them.
The fact that it's half price for 3 months and then goes back to its normal price because you have to pay for it again, even though this is the 4th time you've had to buy it.
Dude, Rockstar finna pump out something good next game that they drop, whether it's GTA 6, whether it's Bully 2, whatever it is, Max Payne.
Oh, bro, you're living a fantasy. It is Grand
wanna
Theft Auto 6.
Ugh.
Bully 2 is not happening, my guy. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
I live in hope.
Yeah,
like,
no.
yeah, I mean, Bully 2, I don't see being able to generate as much cash as this has done for them. Because GTA 5 launched in 2013 on the
Correct.
PS3.
Correct.
It's like basically the next. I remember when it launched, they were like, "Wow, this is next gen." Like,
True. It's been next gen 3 times.
yeah, it's literally been next gen 3 times, and to that, it's like, wow, and now it's gone from wow, that's next gen to wow, that's the future Minecraft. Where it just is on fucking everything. It's gonna be on Raspberry Pi soon enough.
Oh
Like,
man, you can play it on a lot of things. Yeah, you can play it on Steam Deck.
oh my god.
You can get. I think you can get it at 60 frames on Steam Deck.
That's insane. That's insane. Like, ridiculous that the GTA 5 user base has been like transcended, I guess you could say, this far.
Dude, I'm just waiting for the 3DS version.
Oh my god, they'll drop it.
They will. Then I can buy the
They'll be like-
membership for it.
Dude, it'll be like the Chinatown Wars variant, but GTA 5 skin.
No, just normal GTA 5, just potatoed.
The 3DS D-make.
Plays
Love
at about as many frames as the Grand Theft Auto trilogy
Oh,
that they just pumped out.
that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
So about 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, I guess on off the back of that wild news, we've got our favorite segment of the Game Lounge podcast now.
Oh,
Chat, get hyped. It's the NFT section.
let's go, dude.
So we've kind of got 2 pieces here.
Nah,
but,
this
it's
is-
sort of linked into one.
Yeah, this is the same story.
This is Eenaa's story, so I'll let him sort of take the lead on this.
Okay, so
Go for it.
essentially there's a free-to-play card game called Storybook Brawl, right? The company that made it, so Good Luck Games, was completely bought out by FTX US. So FTX, for those who don't know, is a crypto-based company. who immediately after purchasing this company was like, yeah, bro, we can't wait to get this game onto blockchain systems and sell NFTs for it. AKA making the cards NFTs is the idea I think they're going for. So that's what I assume. Like, why would you buy a card game if you didn't plan on making NFTs of cards that only single people can get? And I picked this one in particular because that's fucking egregious. It's awful. Like an entire card game where you you have a card that's only yours that no one else can use. This shit sounds like a balancing fucking nightmare. I don't know how you balance a game like this. It's impossible. Because it's like literally pay to win.
Yeah.
And then that's when a crypto bro comes up who says, actually, it's play to earn. You know, go, get off my fucking screen.
Well, I mean, if you keep investing money, it's just like you have more potential to earn.
Bro, you're literally better off dumping $5,000 into Hearthstone.
Oh my god. Yeah. I wonder what my CS skins are worth these days. I actually haven't checked.
Can you name a few? And I'll tell you off the top of my head because I probably already know.
Man, I can't even remember the names. I haven't played CS in that long of a time. I had the Desert Eagle. It was like a black and gold one. Looked like a SWAT gun.
I mean,
that was pretty elite.
If you got anything from like that's purple to red from like early days, you're probably looking at anywhere between $20 to probably like $3,000.
Dang.
If you have them, but yeah, but that's another wild thing. It's like, but it's not as egregious because it's like, I don't know. I much prefer like a random open market than some NFT shovel bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm also not really a fan of it because it's just like artificial scarcity as well. But yeah, I really, really fucking hate the concept of a card game that's on the blockchain and is full of NFT cards.
That's the thing though, like this is becoming more of an issue especially within the gaming space where you've got these games that are now targeted especially at kids that say play to earn, and obviously these kids will jump in and go like, oh yay, I have a chance to win like $10, which is like massive money for a child.
Yeah, after they put like $80 in.
Yeah, but that's the thing, they don't care. It's mum and dad's money.
Oh, the credit card money.
Yeah, thank you for Bank of Mum and Dad for supplying me with some cards to play this play-to-earn game.
Mum, can you please put some 3 Ethereum into this card?
Oh my god.
Well, that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're a cryptocurrency. They're going to take fake money, aka real money.
Yeah.
They want crypto.
That's where the real money is.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, we'll take 0.1 of a Bitcoin, thank you.
Oh, 0.1 Bitcoin sounds very good, young boy. How much that? $6,200. Oh, okay.
That's okay. It's fake money.
It's actually really funny. I was watching a video essay the other day about the economics of in-game money, and how like they haven't, like the amount that they set for real dollars makes no common sense. It's like, hey, you'll get 34 crystals for $1.59, and you're left trying to like equate what that is, like how much one crystal is worth, and it's just like, and that's how they get you, is like they go,
well, yeah, they also just put them in weird stratified bundles. It's like,
yeah,
you're like, I would like to pay $20, and they go, you can pay 15 or you can pay 30, and I go, but why isn't there $20? That's a pretty normal amount of money. And they're like, no, 10 or 80, and I'm like, what is happening here?
Just the gap is so large.
it's well, it's just how they get you. It's just
Yeah.
it's just to get you to spend more money, obviously.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Which is bad because it, preys on people who aren't, built for coming up with decisions like that, of being like, maybe this just isn't a good idea. And then they go, oh, well, it's only an extra $20. And then they're down $20 and they've put too much money in.
It's funny. I actually did I want to call it, it's like an interview. Actually, it was an interview. It was an interview with an Australian game developer recently. Not in terms of like me applying for a job there, but in terms of wanting to get feedback for an upcoming game that they're developing. The developer was Half Brick Games. So
Classic.
you
Fruit
might know them
Ninja.
for their works of Fruit Ninja,
Jetpack Joyride.
Jetpack Joyride. They're like two of their biggest ones that guys in chat may know. And one of the questions they asked was like, they said, so we're developing this game for mobile. How much money would you invest into this game? Like straight up, they were just like, how much money would you invest into a game that lets you get better things? And they gave me like a list of things. They said, would you put money into cosmetics, progression, level, ability? Like, so essentially they said, well, the way that we're sort of looking at developing this game and it's being shaped by you is once you reach level 5, essentially you can start playing with friends. They said, would you pay like $5 so that you can play with friends immediately?
What the fuck?
And
You're
I was like,
no, you little bitch.
I was like, no, I'm not putting money into that. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. I wish I could have like recorded that and sort of taken clips or whatever. But yeah, very, very interesting to see how they decide these things. And they're also like, the guy was very odd. He switched it up and he was like, so if we put this on PlayStation or PC, how would your thought process change? And I was like, brother, you're talking about mobile game.
My thought process would change by still just want to pay one premium price for your video game, and then I get to play it.
Yes, correct.
And
that's what I said.
That's what I want.
He was like, so what about subscription service on paid game? And I was like, you're half Brick Studios. You're not fucking like out here with epic games and shit like that.
I don't know, man. I think like Halfback's also pretty egregious with their monetization. I don't really particularly like their monetization strategies and formulations. I think they're also pretty predatory.
Oh yeah, market to children, price hike.
It's just like inescapable in the mobile market. I would love for them to push whatever that game is to PC and just see how fucked it gets on Steam reviews when people realize they have to pay. They can pay early to use multiplayer, a standard ass feature in video games, which already included. Are you kidding me? Holy shit! Steam would fucking riot. They would. It'd be over for them. They'd be dead.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Very, very bad. Very bad strategy.
Very bad. Very not good.
Very not good. Well, chat. That's sort of the end of our regular segmented podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the Game Lounge podcast. We'll just have a quick closing statement and then we might throw it over to the interact part where we go over and just have a chill chat for a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Eeenaa, do you want to have your closing statement?
Remember, finna not cop triangle strat.